the Yerf dog 3203, and we got this Predator 13 horsepower on here. Got that to fit, but the first modification I did was put these long shocks on here, because anyone who has one of these knows that the factory shocks are just springs. There's no shocks at all. So these are a lot longer than the originals, but I just made them fit on there. Just cut off one of the tabs and made it a little bit longer. And I had to make that battery tray there, hold the battery on. So that gave me enough room with that extra long shock to just have that motor clear here. I had to dent in the muffler cover there, but it just clears that. It's not a problem. And I had to replace the this torque converter. It's a 40 series front clutch on there. I had took that 30 off. That thing never really seemed to engage right. So looking online, I replaced the rear spring in there. That was a green one. I found a blue one, so that I can mount it this way. It's kind of reverse of what the factory had. And yeah, we live by a busy road here. Yeah, I was gonna say, I really didn't want to change anything more than I had to when I was thinking about putting this 13 horse on here. So that's the original jack shaft and the original holes for the jack shaft. I did have to drill holes for the motor ahead as far as I could put it on the plate there. Get in there so the head just about as far as I can get it, and to the right is as far as I can get it. So far so good. It uses the 40 series belt there, 7/8 wide. The number is on here. I had to get, just kind of guesstimated everything when I did this. I didn't really measure nothing. I just there's a 203/785. Just kind of hope for the best, and things worked out. Yeah, that's a weld repair I had to do when I first got it. Somebody, I don't know what they did, but that was pushed way up. It was dented, lifted way up. The axle was crooked. It runs pretty good like that. I thought maybe that would twist that drive or the jack shaft there, or break it or something, but so far so good. I only have a few threads holding that nut on there, so I might just put a little bead of weld that on just temporarily if I have, because it came off once. I didn't have it tight enough, but I found the nut, put it back on. I had to get a 54 tooth rear sprocket there on the axle. It's a little bit smaller than the 60 that came with, because as you see, it's just about, it actually rubs that bolt on there on the engine, but I'm not too worried about that. I don't plan on taking the motor apart, so if it rubs it off, I think there's just going to rub half of it off. So that's why I downsized the sprocket there to clear. But I put a 9 tooth on the back here, small, so it's 9/54, same ratio, 1:6. It's that, and anybody has one of these knows that the bolts here for the swing arm are loose. Mine were really loose, so I went down to the Tractor Supply and got this 5/8 bolt here. Just unscrewed the old one and slid that right in, put the pin in it. Fit real nice. It's real snug now. Hardly has any play. They're like $2.49 down there, and that's just fits there really nice. Let's see what else. same size shocks on the front here as the rear. I had to make these mounts here, and kind of made a bottom mount there. Didn't even put the nut on it because that bolt won't come out. Made some washers and welded them in there. Leaves all over. And I had to do a first thing I did was a steering improvement, because the steering is really hard on these. It barely touched the wheel and it was hard to turn. So I got the cable system here, another Tractor Supply purchase. I got that 3/4 inch pipe down there. It's a hollow pipe, and took it down the vise, made a bend in it, bowed it clear, because these shocks gave me some more room underneath here, longer, and made that whole system there. I got everything down Tractor Supply except for the tie rod ends. I got them on eBay, and they are kind of pressed together here. So I welded each one of these sides here. I stuck a fine thread bolt in there and welded it into the rod here, the tie rod. So I didn't want that thing to come apart or get loose. Last thing I want to do is have that come out. So that's nice and snug. That thing turns like power steering compared to the old one. It's real easy, and let's see here. I did dent in the, I took the sledgehammer to the corner pipe, the pipe there, and pounded that in as hard as I could, because it just rubs it a little bit when the shock goes down. And notched out the arms here to give me a little more steering. Turns a little, it's not bad, it could be better, but it's better. I got about 180-degree turn on the wheel here to go all the way. So instead of, I think it might have been 90 degrees before it was full turn, but so it's I like it a lot better. That's pretty much all I did to it yet. It runs real nice. Still breaking in the motor. It's got a 3-hour break-in. I think I may have a half an hour on it yet. Half an hour total. Got another couple hours to go on the break-in. So that's pretty much it that I did to it to get this thing where I liked it. I like the shocks. They're a nice smoother ride. I almost bounced off the thing going over some tree roots up there, and I thought that's got to go. So these are nice and smooth. They travel. It's pretty good travel. I have them as weak as they can go. So it makes it a nice, smoother ride. So this might be my first YouTube video if I post this, and those are the mods I made for it, and I just didn't really put a whole lot of work, anything more than I had to do here. I don't want to go crazy on it, and still have a nice go-kart.